Welcome into Winnipeg Sports Talk Weekly. I'm your host, Hrabchak. This is a brand new form of video content here on the WST YouTube channel. It will be very similar to my Jets Weekly show. If you're familiar, I posted that all season long, but this show is going to take a broader view at the summer sports scene here in Winnipeg. That means I'm going to cover Jets news if it comes up, along with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the Winnipeg Sea Bears, and the Winnipeg Goldeyes, keeping you guys up to date on what's going on in their season. Much like Jets Weekly, I'll talk about the games that happened over the past week for all the teams involved. I'll hand out some awards like the 3 stars of the week and preview the upcoming schedule, what to watch for here in Winnipeg as the summer gets underway. I'm super excited to start this series. Thank you for checking it out. Hit the like button and let's start with the Jets news of the week, Scott Arniel being hired as head coach. Starting off with the biggest news of the week, Scott Arniel is the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. This news came down late Friday afternoon. Funny enough, it was actually only 1 hour after Huss and Remus ended their Friday show, so they just missed out on covering this. But either way, Arniel is the head coach for Winnipeg moving forward. Over the past 2 seasons, he had to step in a few times for Rick Bowness when he would take his time off for health reasons or to tend to his wife, Judy, who was having health problems as well. Over that time, Arniel went 15-7-2. His 2 years coaching in Columbus back in 2010 and 2011, he went 44-60-18 before being let go. He spent many years as an associate or assistant coach elsewhere. He coached the Manitoba Moose for 4 seasons, taking them to a Calder Cup final in his tenure. So he's coached a long time. He's worked his way for this opportunity, and he goes from associate coach to head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. Funny enough, the Jets actually drafted him back in 1981 in the second round, 22nd overall pick. He went on to play 5 seasons for the Winnipeg Jets, 730 NHL games in total, putting up 338 points before retiring and pursuing a career in coaching, which has now landed him a head coaching gig in Winnipeg. This move didn't really come as a shock to fans, but you let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts? Arniel seemed destined to become the next head coach. He was the heavy betting favorite. He had stepped in the last 2 seasons at different points and had success doing so. So, like I said, this wasn't really much of a shock, but let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on Arniel becoming the head coach are, and let's get into the other summer sports, starting with the Winnipeg Sea Bears. On Wednesday, May 22nd, the Sea Bears opened their season on the road against the Saskatchewan Rattlers, the Labor Day Classic of the CEBL, if you will. 2 prairie rivals going at it, and the Sea Bears came out on the wrong side of this one, dropping it 94-86 and starting out 0-1 on the season. Teddy Allen, the reigning MVP, he picked up right where he left off from a season ago, dropping 40 points in the loss. And if I'm being honest, this score looks a lot closer than the game really was. Going into target score time, the Sea Bears had a large deficit and they chipped away at it and made it close at the end. But ultimately it was Saskatchewan feasting off of the 17 turnovers that the Sea Bears had and taking a 1-0 record to start their season. And it was a quick turnaround for the Sea Bears, who played on Wednesday and then had their home opener on Friday, May 24th, inside Canada Life Centre as over 9,000 people filed in. That's a sold-out crowd, and the atmosphere was incredible. Fans had every reason to cheer as target score was 107. Both teams were tied at 106, and Scarborough went to the line with 2 free throws. All they had to do was hit one, and they would have won the game, 107-106, but they missed both. Teddy Allen brings the ball up the court, feeds Alex Campbell, who hits a corner 3 for the win, and the roof just exploded off of Canada Life Centre, and 9,100 people sounded like 15,000. It was incredible. If you haven't already, go to a Sea Bears game. This is the reason this league is so awesome, with the target score ending, and the Sea Bears brought the entertainment on Friday night in their home opener. As you can see in the stats behind me here, the final score 109-106 as the Sea Bears even their record at 1-1 on the season. 30% from 3, the Sea Bears actually started the game 0 for 15. So the fact that they got back to 30% is actually pretty impressive. And then the turnovers. I brought it up about Wednesday's game against the Rattlers. They had 17. It's arguably the biggest reason why they lost. They cut that down in a huge way. Only 6 turnovers against the Shooting Stars. They took care of the ball. They hung in the game. They had a double-digit lead. They lost a double-digit lead. But it all came down to Scarborough missing 2 free throws and the Sea Bears taking advantage in target score time. An incredible game, incredible atmosphere, and the Sea Bears are 1-1 on their season. That brings us to the Winnipeg Goldeyes, who are 7-9 on the season, and they just wrapped up a 6-game homestand at Blue Cross Park. I gotta say, the renovations at Blue Cross Park, the new scoreboard, the new patio decks at Craft Beer Corner, it's awesome. You gotta go check it out if you haven't already. Goldeyes.com/tickets if you want to pick those up. But the 6-game homestand, they took on the Chicago Dogs for the first 3 games. And as you can see, won the first 2, lost the third one. And then Lake Country came to town and Friday's game was rained out. So they played a double-header on Saturday where the Goldeyes won both. And then on Sunday, they dropped that one 8-4. And there were a few great individual performances throughout these 6 games, starting with the 4-3 loss to the Chicago Dogs. Joy Matulovic actually was carrying a no-hitter through 6 innings and 2 outs, and then it was broken on a home run. He was taken out of the game, but still a fantastic performance from Joy Matulovic on the mound. Adam Hall was batting over 500, and he was playing so well that his contract actually got transferred to the Milwaukee Brewers. Wishing Adam Hall all the best of luck. A huge loss for the Goldeyes, but it's a bittersweet one as he moves on to a major league organization. Max Murphy, his batting average has been a little bit lower this season, but he's working his way back up, hit a huge home run in the first doubleheader against Lake Country. And Dason Cruz picking up right where he left off from last season. His batting average is over 350. What does he do? He gets on base. Dason Cruz, Joy Matulovic with a great performance, Max Murphy and Adam Hall powering the way to a 4-2 homestand for the Goldeyes this past week. Now it is time for the awards portion of the episode. I'm going to be handing out the 3 stars of the week. But before we do that, if you haven't already, drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss videos like this in the future. Much like Jets Weekly, this content I'm planning on bringing to you every single Monday morning, breaking down the week that was and previewing the upcoming week for not only the Jets, but the Bombers, the Sea Bears, and the Goldeyes. Let's get into the 3 stars of the week. My 3rd star of the week is Scott Arniel. He was promoted to head coach on Friday, like I discussed earlier on in the episode, but I feel like I had to put him in here. A great accomplishment for him as he's been coaching for over 21 years in either the NHL or the AHL. He's going to have an introductory press conference Monday at 11 a.m. with himself and Kevin Cheveldayoff introducing him as head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. Scott Arniel, my 3rd star of the week on WST Weekly. My 2nd star of the week is Goldeyes right fielder Max Murphy. Like I said earlier, his batting average a little bit lower this season than we're used to, but I'd expect it to climb back up as it's already climbing back up. He's got 3 home runs on the season, 13 RBIs, 8 runs, and that's all in just 16 games played. He is a huge reason for some of the offensive explosions in their 6-game homestand, including a 3-run shot against the Lake Country Doghounds in the first game of the Saturday doubleheader. Max Murphy, right fielder of the Winnipeg Goldeyes, my 2nd star of the week on WST Weekly. My 1st star of the week is Sea Bears forward Teddy Allen, and simply put, nobody can guard this guy. He had a 40-point game in their season opener against the Saskatchewan Rattlers and followed it up with a 41-point game in the home opener against Scarborough. Get this, in CEBL history, there's been 5 40-point games. Teddy Allen has 4 of them, and he has 2 of them this week. He is playing on another level right now. He's the reigning MVP from a season ago. He's also adding 10 rebounds a game and 5 assists a game, so it's not just points that he's putting up. He's been easily the best player on the Sea Bears, and he's a huge reason why they got that win against Scarborough on Friday. If Teddy Allen keeps this up, he'll be well on his way to another MVP award. He's my 1st star of the week on WST Weekly. Now it is time to get into the upcoming schedule for the summer sports scene here in Winnipeg. But before we do that, drop a comment down below. Do you agree with my 3 stars of the week? If not, what would you change? Who would you have as the 1st star? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get into the upcoming schedule and what you can watch for in Winnipeg over the next week. So here it is, the upcoming schedule, starting with Friday, May 31st, when the Winnipeg Blue Bombers will host the Calgary Stampeders at the newly named Princess Auto Stadium. This is their 2nd and final preseason game, teeing them up for the June 6th home opener against the Montreal Alouettes. You may have noticed I didn't mention the Bombers at all in this video. There's really no news to cover on them. They did drop their first preseason game a week and a bit ago to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They'll be looking to bounce back. I will be covering that Friday game on next week's edition of WST Weekly. And that brings us to Saturday, June 1st, where the Winnipeg Sea Bears will remain home and take on the Ottawa Blackjacks inside Canada Life Centre. Hopefully it's another incredible atmosphere. Get your tickets. There's still time. It's not a sellout quite yet. So go get your tickets. You won't regret it. If it's anything like Friday's game, you'll be getting your money's worth. And then the Goldeyes, they're heading on the road for a short road trip against Fargo before returning home on May 31st. That'll kick off another 6-game homestand. You can grab your tickets at goldeyes.com/tickets. And then last but not least, this isn't happening necessarily in Winnipeg, But there are the NHL Conference Finals going on this week. New York is leading Florida 2-1. They just won Game 3 in OT. That was an incredible game. And then Edmonton and Dallas, they get going on Game 3 tonight. That one is in Edmonton. That should be a great game. And both of these series have been amazing. Hopefully they go the distance. Selfishly, I want more hockey to watch. I'm going to be breaking down all 3 of the Winnipeg sports teams and their games next week on the second edition of WST Weekly. Make sure you don't miss it with the notification bell on. That's going to do it for the first edition of WST Weekly. Thank you so much for checking it out. I'm super excited to do this all summer long. There's going to be a ton of great games and exciting moments between all 3 of these teams, so I'm excited to cover it all here on the WST YouTube channel. Until next Monday, have a great week, everyone. Enjoy the games this week, and I'll talk to you then. See ya.